Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Emma. If you hear classical music playing in the background, the alarm company system is testing the fire alarm intercom thing. And it seems like they've stopped. No, they haven't. I am back from my trip in Ireland, and I've been waiting to do a book haul because I bought a lot of books. My suitcase was half books on the way back, so I kind of have it in three sections, so books that were gifted to me, and then also some books that I got when I was in New York, and the rest of the books are from Ireland. First, let's start with The Book of Delights by Ross Gay. This was sent to me by my Grandma Sue, and I thought it was short stories, but it's actually like little essays about this guy. It almost seems like a gratitude list kind of thing, but it's not a list. He's just writing an essay about something that made him happy that day, and he does it every day for a year. He skips a few days, but he does it every day for a year and just talks about them. And I started reading it. I'm on page 26 right now, and I think it's fun. It's interesting. He saw like a praying mantis and was like, oh my god, it's a praying mantis. Like, he was so excited about it, and I was like, I 100% understand what you mean. Like, when I saw a moth. It's in my last video. I saw a moth, and I was like overjoyed. She was so cute. That is this book. I don't know if I explained that well, but if you're new to my channel, welcome. I don't explain shit well. Okay. Next up, my mom gave me this one, Singing the Way by Patrick Laude. This is a cool cover, but also, look at that. It's just, so it's Insights in Poetry and Spiritual Transformation. I like poetry, and my mom knows that, and she got this when she was down in Mexico. Hindu poetics, Islam, Sufism, and poetry, Luchi's Wenfu, poetry, Japanese poetry, Western poetics, and Singing the Sacred Way, poetry and shamanism. So I just think that's kind of cool. And then Jared's grandma, Mary Lou, is a gem. And she's been getting rid of a lot of her books, so she gave me Dialogues of Plato, so it has Apology, Crito, Phaedo, and Symposium, and the most famous passages from the Republic. So I have a copy that is the first three, but I don't think I have the second two that's in this. So that's kind of cool, and it's annotated, so we love that. Next, she gave me the Oedipus plays of Sophocles, and then there's also this like thing in here, which just like, look at this paper, guys. Like, this seems like essay notes kind of, and then back here too, for Oedipus, which I'm assuming his grandmother had to read at some point in school. It's got that good old book smell. And then she also gave me this in like this nice little packaging. I still haven't been able to figure out what the second sentence says. Hope you enjoy the Irish Memories, Mary Lou. If you can read that, please comment down below and let me know what it says, because I asked Jared too and he has no idea. I thought this was cute. It's all wrapped up from a little sparkly twine. Okay. Poets Crossing, Poems by Barbara Botch. I haven't looked at these at all. Much of her writing is inspired by her strong Irish roots and her love for the Emerald Isle. That's fun. That's cute. The Best Love Poems of Jaqueline Kennedy Onassis. And there's like a newspaper. Oh, okay. I thought this was a newspaper from the Kennedy assassination, and I was like, holy shit. It's from 2013, and it's talking about it because it was 50 years before that. Interesting. I love that this is just taped into the book. That makes me so happy for some reason. I love seeing how people love their books. So one of the greatest gifts my brother and I received from my mother was her love of literature and language. In this anthology, I've tried to include poems that reflect things that were important to her, a spirit of adventure, the worlds of imagination and nature, and the strength of love and family. That's so cute. When I was in New York, I stopped by the Strand pop-up that's next to Central Park, and I got a couple things. So, do I already own the entirety of Emily Dickinson's poems in one collection? Yes. So, do I need a selection of them? No. But look how pretty. I just like it, okay? Okay. But, yeah, so I just got this. Thought it was cool. Nice used copy. All of the ones that I got at the Strand are used. And then George Saunders' stories in Persuasion Nation. My Grandma Sue, I was with her in New York, and she started reading it, and she said that she loved it. But my creative writing professor from spring semester 2022, that took so long to get out. I'm so sorry. He loved George Saunders a lot, and so I kind of saw this, and I was like, oh, I should read this. And then also it's got like these glossy stars on it. It's kind of funky. And then the last one, it's apparently the only Latin novel to have survived in its entirety. The Golden Ass. You know? It's giving Midsummer Night's Dream, Narcissus, and Echo vibes, like kind of all encompassing. Yeah, it seems funny. I believe it's a comedy, and so it just seemed like something that'd be fun. I like finding classics that I've never heard about before. And then I went to this place called the Book Club. This is Ben. In New York, and they had a drinking and drawing thing which I participated in, and it was so fun. It's just like sketching like live models for like 5 minutes, and you can volunteer to be a model, and it's all just super fun and chill, but it's like a bookstore inside a cafe inside a bar kind of thing. And so I got this there because I've read her other 2 books, I really like them, and you know. Now for the really exciting bit. What I got in Ireland. This is so fun for me. Oh my god. And most of these are by Irish authors. Not all, but most. The first one is not an Irish author. Alice Oseman. I don't have the 4th volume, and so I wanted to get the 4th volume. Yeah, that's it. So, Ruth and Pen by Emilie Pine. I read this book while I was in Ireland, and I finished it on the plane ride back to the US, and I loved it. I loved it. It's an amazing book. It's set in Dublin, and it really pulls you in because it gives you descriptions of what street she's on, what monuments she's by, for both of the girls, Ruth and Pen, that it follows. It's a beautiful story talking about relationships and sexuality and mental illness, and just so much. It's amazing. I loved it. I love it. I don't know. It really got to me. It really did. And it was so fun to read it and know exactly like what she was talking about, what street she was on. Like, oh, she's right across from the Oscar Wilde monument. I know exactly where that is, you know, stuff like that. And she is an Irish author. And then currently reading In Search of Madness by Brendan Kelly. So, a psychiatrist travels through the history of mental illness. And this is also by an Irish author. He's like traveling around figuring out the history of mental illness, how it was treated, and what people thought it was, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like history and psychology, and I find that very interesting. So I've been reading it a bit. I'm on page 50. Next up is the one that I'm really excited for. It's Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl. Did I just say girl? Okay. By Andrea Lawlor. So I'm not sure if they're Irish. I know that they're currently in Massachusetts and teaching there, but I think they have gotten some awards in Ireland. Might be wrong. I'm just going to read the back of it because that'll just be easier. It's 1993 and Paul Polydorus tends bar at the only gay club in a university town, thrumming with politics and partying. But Paul's also got a secret. He's a shapeshifter. He transforms his body and his gender at will in a search for belonging and love that travels across America, from Iowa City to San Francisco. Paul Takes the Form of a Mortal Girl is an exhilarating, razor-sharp, queer coming-of-age story whose hero/heroine winds his way through a world gutted by loss in the wake of AIDS, pulsing with music and opening into an array of intimate connections. Andrea Lawlor has written a cult classic. The cover and everything else about it just sounds so interesting, and I'm honestly stoked to read it. In Her Jaws by Rosamund Taylor. This is a poetry collection by Banshee Press. That's a publishing company. That makes me really happy, and I would like to work there. Thank you very much. Like, imagine working at Banshee Press. That's so cool. Yeah, I've read like the first poem a few times around, just trying to like suss it out, but I haven't read much more than that yet. Next up, this cover is sick as hell. Elektra by Jennifer Saint. Look at this. It's so cool. The house of Atreus is cursed, a bloodline tainted by a generational cycle of violence and vengeance. This is the story of three women, their fates inextricably tied to this curse, and the fickle nature of men and gods. So it follows Clytemnestra, Cassandra, and Elektra. Greek mythology, right up my alley. That's all there is to say. Next up, I got this used Penguin book, Penguin Crime. It's called The Murderer. That just sounds so cool, right? Again, I love finding old books that like no one's ever talked about, so it just seems kind of fun. I believe this dude is French, so not another Irish author, but a very short novel about, I'm guessing, a murderer. And last but not least, I got this beautiful copy of Lady Audley's Secret by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. I believe I've heard the author's name before, but I'm not familiar with this book. Look at the spine though really quick. Okay, anyways. Again, I love finding classics that I didn't know existed. In this outlandish, outrageous triumph of scandal fiction, a new Lady Audley arrives at the manor, young, beautiful, and very mysterious. Why does she behave so strangely? What exactly is the dark secret this seductive outsider carries with her? A huge success in the 19th century, this book reveals an anti-heroine with her good looks and hidden past who embodied perfectly the concerns of the Victorian age with morality and madness. Vibes. That's all I gotta say. These are the books I got. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please let me know. Let me know if you've read any of these. Or if you're thinking about adding any of them to your list. I would love to know. Why is it so bright? No, okay. Yeah, so this was super fun for me, and I'm excited. Yeah. I hope you guys have an amazing time, and I'll see you later. Bye.